millions and millions of waste water, so which cannot be treated in a single tank. So for this purpose, what we do is whatever the water which we get from the sewage will be stored in this raw sewage tanker initially. From this tanker, it will be sent into the screening tanker. As I said, from the raw sewage chamber, it will next go into the screening chamber. This screening chamber contains two mesh. One is fine core and next one is core screen. So core screen is a mesh with 30 to 60 millimeter hole size, so which will separate most of the floating particles like bottles, papers, or which are in large size. And after that, we will be having the next screen, that is a fine screen. Fine screen will be 0.3 to 0.6 millimeter hole size. So which will be filtering very fine particles, and the water which will be entering into the next level will be only a pure water. So why this type of separation is a physical separation, we do not use any biological treatment or a chemical treatment here. So now why we have to separate all this waste material here? The reason is if you don't separate them, the bottles or the waste papers which are present may enter into the next level, which may choke or block the entire system and create high pressure. Due to that, the entire system will be damaged. To avoid such conditions, physically we separate all the waste here by using a screening. So that these screens, fine screen and core screen. So this is the first stage of treatment of the water. From this it will be entering into the grit removal tank. So now you can see this, the drainage water which is coming from the external resources will be coming into the screening tank. From the screening tank, it will be entering into the next level, that is a grit removal tank. From the screening, the next level of water treatment is grit removal tank. So in the grit removal tank, what we do is the water which is passed into this will be allowed to settle for 2 to 3 hours, which makes all the suspended particles like rocks, bones, bone pieces, etc. will go and settle at the bottom of the tank. They will settle in the bottom of the tank. You can see some pieces are settling here. So all the waste will be settling at the bottom within 2 to 3 hours. So we won't treat any process. We won't use any process here. We just allow the water to get stable there. So once it gets stable there, after 2 to 3 hours, whatever the suspended particles, high dense suspended particles like the particles which are having more weight will go and settle at the bottom. That means most of the organic matter will go and settle on the bottom of the tank, which allows the water to become pure. Most of the organic content is reduced here. 50 to 60% of the organic waste are reduced in this stage. At this stage, as the water is allowed to settle for more tank, so like 2 to 3 hours, what happens? The microbial content in this also will increase, which will help the microorganisms to use this organic matter inside this tank and decompose this organic matter, which also reduces the COD levels. Both COD and BOD levels are reduced at these levels, and at the top you can see some box-like structure here. This is a room which is having a skimmer in it. So this skimmer, how does it work? So this will be rotating on the top of this. In the top here, it will be rotating like this. You can see the skimmer here. It will be rotating like this. Whatever the oils or fats which are present in your water, the oils and fats will be completely absorbed by the skimmer, and it will be removing this. So at this stage, the fats and oil and BOD and COD levels are reduced here. This is about the grit removal tank. From this grit removal tank, we will be entering into the next is primary clarifier. And the next level of the water treatment is primary clarifier. In the primary clarifier, again we allow the water to settle in for a such 1 to 2 hours, where the water will continuously settle in this here. In this stage, the sludge formation will start. What do you mean by sludge? Sludge is the complete waste, organic and inorganic material which is settling at the bottom. So here, the first sludge formation will start. So in the primary clarifier, as we can see in the figure, we have 3 layers here. So the topmost layer is a pure water form, and the next layer is the water which is mixed with a few parts of your waste material, and the bottom, the dark color black, is completely sludge. This sludge is settling at the bottom, only pure water is reaching the top. So in this stage, this is the first stage, we exactly separate the sludge from the pure water. So these sludge which is formed in the primary clarifier through the sludge pipes which will reach the sludge thickener. Right, from these the pure water is collected from these into the next stage, that is the aeration tank. In the aeration tank, we will be having the air pumps at the bottom, like this as shown in the figure. These pumps will produce the air continuously. By diffusion process, we will mix this air into the water. As the air is completely mixing with the water, what happens? It is a suitable condition for growth of aerobic microorganisms. As the aerobic microorganisms continuously grow, it will degrade all the organic matter which is present in the water, as we have discussed earlier in the grey water treatment plant. So in this, the air continuously produced will make the overgrowth of microorganisms, aerobic microorganisms, which will use all the sulfates, chlorates and all the organic matter which is present in the water and decompose that. So after decomposing, a sludge will be formed, the sludge will be transferred into the sludge tank, sludge thickener tank again. Only the pure form of water will be sent into the next level of the treatment. The next level of the treatment is the secondary clarifier. In this also, the water is allowed to settle for 2 to 3 hours, which helps the pure water to come in the top. Only the remaining excess sludge also gets settled in the bottom. This sludge is collected via the sludge pump into the sludge thickeners, and finally the pure water is transferred into the treated water tank. Now still this stage all the water is pure, but in this case we have never treated these microorganisms. The population of microorganisms high in the treated water tank. So what we do is we add some chlorine in this tank, which helps to kill all the microbial content in the water, and finally the water is pure in state, which can be used for commercial purpose. Right? Coming into the sludge which is collected from the primary clarifier, aeration tank and secondary clarifier, all these will reach the sludge thickener. So from these, whatever the water which is present will be removed slowly and the sludge will become thick. These sludge again will be sent into the sludge stabilization tank. During the stabilization tank, what we'll do, we add a microorganism to that so that we can decompose that excess of the sludge and convert it to the less one. During this decomposition of the sludge, so the microorganisms will liberate some gases. So these gases are collected through these pipes and hold into a gas holder. So this gas which is produced is called a biogas. This biogas can be used for commercial purpose, for using in a household purpose, for cooking purpose, etc. So this sludge which is completely decomposed and remaining, this sludge will finally sent into the sludge drying beds. In this, the sludge will be completely dried under the sun, and these sludge after complete drying can be used for commercial purpose, for cultivation as a manure. This is a complete treatment how we convert from black water to good water for cultivation and for harvesting and also for commercial purpose like construction. Now you can see here in the final stage, the water which is coming out is collected into the pure water container tank. So this water can be used for commercial purpose. The water which is after complete treatment of all the stages, the water which is coming out will be pure and it is less of BOD and COD. This water can be used commercial purpose and also can be directly dumped into the rivers and any other places, any water bodies, because it is completely free of BOD and COD, not completely, very less BOD and COD, which will not affect the harm of the life of the organisms which is living in the ponds or rivers. Because if the BOD levels and COD levels are high, whatever the water which we dump into the rivers or the oceans or any water bodies, what happens? The water which we have dumped will consume the oxygen present in the water and will decrease the oxygen levels in the water. It finally makes the organisms which are present in that particular water bodies will get died because of the less content of the oxygen present in the water. So to avoid these conditions only, we treat the water so that in the final stage the water becomes completely pure and has a less BOD levels and COD levels, like less biological oxygen demand and less chemical oxygen demand. So the water which we are getting in the final stage is as per the less BOD levels and COD levels, which we can dump it into the water bodies or we can use it for commercial purpose.